Hey folks, we just got done riding Ducati North America's 2023 DesertX. This is an all-new middleweight adventure touring bike from Ducati out of Bologna, Italy. Now, Ducati had teased this motorcycle extensively when they unwrapped it at the EICMA show a few years ago. Fast forward to today, and they finally imported this vehicle into North America for US consumption. Let's start with the styling. I love the aesthetic of this vehicle, especially in this flat matte white colorway. I just love that this motorcycle literally looks like a brand new version of the original Cagiva Elefant from the late 80s. I think Ducati did a really nice job using styling elements from that motorcycle, yet fitting modern hardware on that bike. This motorcycle continues to be powered by Ducati's tried and true 937cc Testastretta 11-degree L twin. This engine's been in Ducati's lineup for a few years now. It has benefited from some updates along the way with its new 6-speed gearbox that it fitted on the Monster last year. Ducati's fitted shorter transmission gear ratios in first and second gear. Now, the shorter transmission ratios help this vehicle when you are lugging up precarious terrain off-road or going down precarious terrain. It just gives a little bit more acceleration when you're climbing grades. Other than that, this engine continues to offer Ducati's advanced electronics package, ride-by-wire, adjustable power modes, traction control, adjustable wheelie control. Ducati's added a new group setting, so they continue to have urban, sport, wet, rain, touring, but now they have a rally setting, and the rally setting is basically a spin-off of the enduro setting. So the enduro setting used to have a low power, now the rally setting has high power, and most people who ride these bikes off-road, they want full power because you just need the extra oomph when you're trying to get over obstacles or climbing steep grades or whatever have you. So now this bike has the rally setting. The rally setting allows for a little bit more wheel spin when you have DTC enabled. And it's neat that Ducati offered that, but it would have been really neat if they would have added some incremental wheel slip setting within the rally mode. Other manufacturers in this segment offer that on their IMU powered traction control, so that would have been a nice addition. Handling on this motorcycle, I really like the handling of this motorcycle. I generally don't really like motorcycles that don't have linkages. Usually I always want to have a linkage, but this setup on this motorcycle worked pretty well. To be fair, the roads around Denver, Aspen, Colorado, where we rode were pretty smooth. You know, when we rode off-road, even the fire roads and the two-track wasn't that rough. So the jury's still kind of out on how this suspension would work when it's really rough. But for initial impressions, it worked really good. Ergonomics on this motorcycle, I like how cozy the seat is. You really sit inside of it, and when you're sitting there, you don't really move back and forth like you would on a flat dirt bike seat. It's very cozy. I like the big oversized foot pegs. They have good grip against your boot when you're riding on precarious terrain. The handlebar is nice and wide. It's got a little bit rearward sweep, but I like that. The fuel tank, it's styled very nicely, but it kind of does it feels a little bit wide when you're riding the bike in the standing position. I wish Ducati engineers would have maybe had that fuel tank a little bit flatter and then made it wider, you know, farther ahead, like in this area. You kind of see how it just slopes a little bit. The slope is a little bit too much for me. I wish it was flatter right there. But besides that bugaboo, the DesertX is an easy bike to ride and an easy bike to live with. I love the 5.5 gallon fuel capacity. Motorcycle manufacturers are always fitting too small of fuel tanks on their motorcycles. Finally, this bike has a good, generous fuel tank size so we can log the miles. Ducati also has a number of accessories like these handle guards, like these crash bars, like the heated grips that are fitted on this vehicle. The accessory that I would really want to get my hands on is the auxiliary 2.5 gallon fuel tank, which actually sits right here on this rear passenger seat, and it plugs into the main fuel tank, and literally the main fuel tank sucks the fuel in. So with those fuel tanks, you have almost 8 gallons of fuel capacity, which is awesome, especially for a middleweight bike like this that's not going to drink the gasoline like a liter and above size ADV bike would. Overall, this bike is a really fun bike to ride. Is it better than any of the bikes in the class? I don't know. You know, it handles nicely. It has good power. The electronics are nice. It looks awesome. That's what I really like about this bike, is its aesthetics. The other bikes in the segment, you know, they're kind of ho-hum in the styling department, but this thing looks totally awesome. And that is reason enough for someone that wants an adventure touring bike to get it. All right, folks, that wraps up our review of the 2023 Ducati DesertX. Make sure to surf on over to motorcyclistonline.com. That's where all of our written content lives. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs it down if you didn't, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for riding with us.